from New York Post. Trump administration has rescued 62,000 migrant kids from sex trafficking, child labor. The border czar, Tom Homan, says, and this is going to be on the New York Post, so I will get into this a little bit at least. So 62,000 kids, man, that's a lot more to go. 62,000 is a hell of an achievement, assuming that's an accurate number, because they estimated, 300,000 children went missing after crossing the border under the Biden administration. I've seen 400,000. See, it looks like that they're sticking with 300,000 here on the New York Post. So more than 62,000 migrant children have been rescued by the Trump administration and saved from evil conditions, including trafficking and forced labor after they crossed the border without parents under the Biden administration, border czar Tom Homan said. Quote, over 500,000 children were smuggled into this country under Joe Biden, Homan said on Fox on Sunday. Quote, they lost track of 300,000. President Trump committed on day one that we will do everything we can to find every one of these children. And that's Tom Homan, of course. So we know many of them are in trafficking. Many are in forced labor. Many are being abused, Homan added. I can't discuss some of the mistreatment we found out about. President Trump again proved why he's the greatest president in my lifetime. Over 62,000 children rescued. Homan said that the Biden administration had ignored the migrant kids and wasn't looking for them. The 62,000 children had been rescued between the start of the Trump administration and last Friday. And Republicans and whistleblowers have alleged that 300,000 and 500,000 migrant children were missing or lost under the Biden administration. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, I get conflicting numbers. Like, either way, it taken the lowest number. I mean, 300,000. I don't believe that I've seen a number below 300,000, but just it's almost impossible to wrap your mind even around that. 300,000 children under the age of 18 are just missing. They're unaccounted for. They're not in the custody of their parents because they were just handed off to some sponsor, and God knows where they are. I would argue that they're not in any sort of federal custody. They're not in any in any agency or in any facility that's being watched over by the government, or else they wouldn't be missing. All right. So anyway, migrant children were missing or lost. Okay. So critics say that statistic comes from a Department of Homeland Security report last year, which concluded that Immigration and Customs Enforcement released some 291,000 migrant children without notices to appear in court between fiscal year 2019 and May of 2024, and has no way to track them after they arrived in the country as unaccompanied minors. Yeah, they just want to manufacture more dreamers and more dreamers and even more dreamers. During the 2024 campaign cycle, Trump and Homan frequently attacked former President Biden for losing track of unaccompanied minors who crossed the border. This is not even possible to believe. 325,000 migrant children are missing, many of whom have been trafficked and R-worded, Trump said during a rally last year when vying against then Vice President Kamala Harris. Privately, Biden reportedly lashed out at former Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra over his department's failure to handle a surge of unaccompanied migrant children at the southern border. Well, I would certainly hope that he did that. I mean, that's the very least he could have freaking done. Homan took note of the backlash Trump had weathered for his aggressive crackdown on the border and underscored the humanitarian benefits of those hard-nosed policies. They're complicit, Homan said of Democrats. 4 years this has happened. Sex trafficking, historic highs. Children crossing the border, historic highs. Migrant deaths crossing the border, historic highs. Like or love President Trump, you've got to admit this man has shown every day he's saving America. Under the Biden administration, there were over 301,981 encounters at the southwest border during December of last year. That's just December of last year. That's only 1 month. Over 300,000, according to data from the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. Encounters plummeted to just 11,710 in October, the most recent month for which data is available. And it's probably because we had to deal with the shutdown. A lot of data, a lot of statistics isn't reported when the government shut down, especially if it's shut down for over a month. So that's going to come with its own set of problems. But I'm assuming that number is not going to be any higher than that. It's probably going to be maybe down near the 10,000 mark, if anything, for the month of November, that is. Okay, so moving on to the next thing from the White House. Well, it's in the same topic. So President Trump committed on day one that we would do everything we can to find every one of these children. Many are in trafficking, many in forced labor, many being abused. President Trump is proving why he's the best president of my lifetime, which we already got in the New York Post. But here's an image. President Trump looks like he's up there at the border wall, maybe. I don't know. So 62,000 migrant children rescued by the Trump administration.
If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Check out The Swamp, Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern, with segments dropping on the daily. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.